buried right over here is Louis's parents. They came in about 1870 from France and settled in Warsaw, known as Frenchtown. And there, as we can tell from talking to people, Frenchtown, the suburb of Warsaw, is right out near where Mr. and Mrs. Gown live right now, right out south of the fairgrounds in that area. And that's where the settlements were on there. And I was going to read just a real brief death excerpt from the death notice before I get into some more details. For Louis Lamet, the citizen of Warsaw, and many friends outside held a deep affection and a large measure of respect. As an attorney, he was able and conscientious, a tireless worker. So that's what was said on his death notice, not getting into the obituary awful long and all that. But when he was born in 1873, he attended Warsaw schools throughout, graduated, and then you didn't need a lot of secondary education to become a teacher. So Louis got a teaching certificate, was called at that time, and for about 3 years he rode bareback and horse and buggy, traveled around Hancock County teaching school. At which time then he decided he would continue his education and went to the University of Illinois, hence my U of I curtain I've got here. Graduated from law school in 1901, got his law degree, came back to Carthage, and joined and practiced with Mr. Truman Plants for a couple, 3 years, and then they moved their practice to Warsaw. They thought at that time Warsaw was kind of the booming town and that there were no other attorneys, and that's where they decided to come. In 1905 was a pretty eventful year for Mr. Lamet. Being he was an attorney here in town, he was elected city attorney and also to the school board. And he held both of those positions for the next 25 years until his death. So he was very involved in local activities at that time. And he also, in 1905, married Amy Lamet. She was also a school teacher that Louis had met during his school teaching days from out of Basco. And from that marriage was born Leon, who many of you folks know probably, who I guess Louis would be proud to know that he followed his footsteps at the University of Illinois and also city attorney and a lot of things around Warsaw over the years. Amy Lamet's parents came from France approximately the same time that Louis's family did, and it was a little unique in that her father was a renowned chef in France, and one of his major, I guess, notorieties was to prepare a meal for leading people of France and England, including Edward VII, King Edward. So I kind of said a while ago, I doubt that the family dinners at Thanksgiving were fried rabbit. It might have been something a little bit more, better cuisine or something like that that you might have been used to. Also, one of the highlights of Louis's lifetime was in 1913, the centennial for the city of Warsaw, and we all know about bicentennials, but this was the centennial in 1913. He was appointed by the governor as one of a 5-man group to oversee the building of the Fort Edwards Monument and the dedication of that, and Louis was also the mayor of Warsaw during that time. So he had a lot of irons in the fire and was very able in his practice. So he was stricken dead with acute pancreatitis in May of 1929. He became ill here in Warsaw, went to Keokuk, and then to Rochester, Minnesota. So even back those days, people went to Rochester when they had major problems. Didn't make it there either. So this is my short story of Mr. Louis Lamet.
Thank you. Thank you.